I have a confession to make. If I had to pick my top 3 philosophers, Spinoza would definitely be on that list. I can't say if he's first, second, or third, but he's undoubtedly among the 3 thinkers I admire the most. To start, let's see what some influential figures have said about him. Friedrich Nietzsche, after reading one of Spinoza's works, wrote in a letter to his friend Franz Overbeck, "I am astonished, I am charmed. I have found a kindred spirit who has thought what I have thought, and where I thought, Spinoza." Pierre Bayle, one of the early Enlightenment thinkers, said, "It is through sheer modesty that Spinoza did not wish to create a sect in his name." This shows how Spinoza, despite his great influence and the admiration he received, preferred to remain humble and not seek followers to create his own school of thought. However, not everyone was a fan of Spinoza. He was often called the master of atheists of our era by critics who saw his ideas as a threat to religious conventions and the culture of the time. But why did Spinoza cause such controversy? What was it about his ideas that so deeply stirred people? To understand this, we need to dive into the life and works of this fascinating philosopher. Today, we'll get to know Baruch Spinoza. Baruch Spinoza was born on November 24th, 1632, in Amsterdam, to a family of Portuguese Jews who fled the Inquisition during the Iberian Union. His parents sought a more tolerant place to live, which is why they settled in the vibrant city of Amsterdam, known for its relative religious freedom. During his youth, Spinoza received a traditional Jewish education, but soon began to question religious dogmas. The society of the time was deeply intolerant of ideas that diverged from orthodoxy. As a result, Spinoza was excommunicated from the Jewish community at the age of 23. To survive, Spinoza worked as a lens grinder. This profession not only ensured his livelihood, but also influenced his philosophical thinking. Grinding lenses allowed him a unique perspective on the world, both literally and metaphorically, helping him to focus his ideas and see things more clearly. Besides his manual work, Spinoza led a simple and reclusive life, dedicating much of his time to study and writing. He preferred tranquility and contemplation, and avoided public life, which allowed him to develop his ideas independently and profoundly. It was during this period of isolation and reflection that Spinoza began to formulate his philosophical ideas. Influenced by René Descartes' Cartesian rationalism, Spinoza developed a deeply rationalistic and systematic philosophy, aiming to explain the nature of reality, God, and humanity in a coherent and integrated manner. However, he took these ideas in unique and radical directions. One of the main concepts of Spinoza's philosophy is monism, the idea that there is only one substance in the universe, which he identified as God or nature. For Spinoza, God was not a separate entity from the world, but rather the very essence of the universe, present in all things. Personally, I find it fascinating how he managed to unite such complex concepts into a single vision of the universe. In his most famous work, Ethics, Spinoza argues that everything in the world happens according to logical and natural necessity. He rejects the idea of free will, proposing that our actions are determined by our nature and the external influences we experience. So, the next time you make a bad choice, you might blame Spinoza for saying it was all determined by the circumstances. Spinoza also offered an innovative view of human emotions. He believed that understanding our passions was essential to achieving true freedom. For him, happiness and virtue were achieved through the rational understanding of ourselves and the world around us. His philosophy, though complex, aimed to provide a guide for a good and rational life. By integrating reason, nature, and human emotions, Spinoza created a system of thought that continues to inspire and challenge thinkers to this day. One of Spinoza's most significant contributions to philosophy is his innovative approach to human passions. Unlike most philosophers of his time, who viewed passions with suspicion, Spinoza gave them a central role in his understanding of human nature. Spinoza believed that passions were natural forces that shaped our behavior and thoughts. Instead of repressing them, he argued that we should deeply understand them to live a full and rational life. In Ethics, Spinoza classifies emotions into 3 basic categories: desire, joy, and sadness. From these, he derives all other emotions. He describes how our emotions are linked to our perceptions of increasing or decreasing our power to act in the world. A crucial point in Spinoza's philosophy is that by understanding the causes and effects of our passions, we can transform negative emotions into positive ones. Spinoza essentially coined the term "change your mind, change your life" long before modern coaches. Spinoza also introduced the concept of intellectual love of God, which he considered the highest form of happiness. This love was not a traditional religious feeling, but rather a deep rational and emotional understanding of the unity of all things in nature. By giving passions a prominent place in his philosophical system, Spinoza challenged the traditional view that favored pure reason and suppression of emotions. He taught us that living in harmony with our passions, understanding and channeling them, is crucial for achieving a truly free and happy life. Spinoza's influence in philosophy and other areas of knowledge is immense. His radical and innovative vision challenged the conventions of his time and paved the way for many later thinkers. Spinoza was a key figure in the development of the Enlightenment, influencing philosophers like John Locke, Voltaire, and more directly, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. His insistence on reason as a means to understand the world and the rejection of supernatural explanations were precursors to Enlightenment thinking. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential philosophers of the 19th century, considered Spinoza a spiritual predecessor. Nietzsche admired Spinoza's courage in challenging religious orthodoxy and advocating for a philosophy based on logic and observation of nature. Imagine Nietzsche, one of the greatest thinkers, calling Spinoza a spiritual brother. In the 20th century, interest in Spinoza continued to grow. The French philosopher Gilles Deleuze wrote extensively about Spinoza, calling him the Prince of Philosophers for his ability to integrate reason and emotion into a coherent system. Deleuze highlighted the relevance of Spinoza's ideas for understanding contemporary ethics, politics, and psychology. Beyond philosophy, Spinoza's ideas also found resonance in science. Albert Einstein, for example, expressed his admiration for Spinoza, saying that he believed in the God of Spinoza, a view of God as the order and harmony of the universe, rather than a personal and intervening being. I made a video detailing this speech by Einstein and about the God of Spinoza, which I will link at the end of this video. Today, Spinoza is studied and admired for his holistic and integrated approach to human knowledge. His ideas about the interconnection of all things, the importance of emotions, and the pursuit of a rational and ethical life continue to inspire and influence thinkers in various fields. Spinoza left us a legacy of critical thinking and a deep understanding of human nature, showing that the pursuit of knowledge and harmony between reason and emotion are essential for a full and meaningful life. Spinoza's ideas are not just topics for scholars of philosophy, they have practical implications that extend to the present day in various fields such as psychology, ethics, and politics. Let's explore some of these contemporary applications. In psychology, Spinoza's view of emotions as natural and inevitable responses to external stimuli influenced cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT aims to help people understand and change their patterns of thought and behavior, something that resonates with Spinoza's idea of transforming negative emotions into positive ones through rational understanding. Spinoza would certainly have made a great modern psychotherapist. Spinoza is also relevant in the field of ethics, especially in debates about well-being and morality. His belief that good and evil are relative and depend on human affections offers a valuable perspective on how societies can build more inclusive and comprehensive ethical systems. By emphasizing the importance of understanding and reason, Spinoza suggests that an ethics based on the knowledge of human emotions can lead to a more harmonious coexistence. In politics, Spinoza's ideas about freedom and democracy have been particularly influential. He advocated for freedom of expression and religious tolerance, principles that are fundamental in modern democracies. His vision that the state should serve the common good, ensuring the freedom of individuals, continues to be an ideal for many political systems. Additionally, Spinoza's philosophy has implications in the field of ecology. His idea that God and nature are a single substance led many to interpret him as a precursor of modern ecological thought. By recognizing the interconnection of all things, Spinoza reminds us of the importance of living in harmony with nature and respecting the environment as an integral part of our own existence. Spinoza was an ecologist before it was cool. He already knew that nature and we are one and the same. Sorry, Greta. Lastly, Spinoza offers us a profound and practical vision of how to live a meaningful life. By encouraging us to understand our passions and seek wisdom through reason, he provides tools to face personal and social challenges more effectively. His ideas continue to be a beacon for those seeking a life guided by knowledge and harmony between mind and body. Spinoza's philosophy, therefore, is not just a historical curiosity. It offers valuable and practical insights that can help guide our lives and our societies toward a more rational, ethical, and sustainable future. Baruch Spinoza was a revolutionary thinker whose influence extends far beyond his time. His ideas about God, nature, and human emotions challenged conventions and continue to inspire and guide philosophers, scientists, and all those who seek a deeper understanding of life. Spinoza taught us that reason and passions do not need to be in conflict. On the contrary, understanding our emotions through reason can lead us to a more fulfilled and harmonious life. His reflections on freedom, ethics, and the interconnection of all things are more relevant than ever, offering us a guide to navigate the challenges of the modern world. Thank you for staying with me this far. Your interest is what makes it possible for me to continue sharing this knowledge. If you enjoyed the content and want to keep receiving videos that add value to your life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any updates. Comment below what you thought and which topics you'd like to see in future videos. Your opinion is very important to me. And remember, knowledge is the path to true freedom. Count on me. Since you've made it this far, why not continue on this journey of knowledge and personal development? Subscribe to the channel. I'll leave you with 2 videos: The God of Spinoza Explained and The Story of Galois, the genius we never had.